almost didn't throw the white flag. I was going to give you one more lap.
The 9 running on the tires. He'll slide up off of turn number 4, Jerry. You've got a new race leader, Matthew Loeb. Your race leader with 4 laps to go.
All right, who told you to tell that joke?
I didn't bring anything.
3,
I've got my computer up.
2,
It's everybody's
1,
turn.
I can do
and
it.
we're live.
We're live? Oh, we got to wait 5 seconds.
Do we? Jim looks like a painting.
Hey, welcome to episode 13, where the band is back together. We're back home. Got Wade. He's going to go home. You got your email yet from the president saying get out?
It's a text.
Come back.
It comes a text.
They missed you.
They say, "Hope you've enjoyed your time in the United States of America. Don't
Now
let
get
the
the hell
door.
out."
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out."
Did they
So how's
actually
it work
give you
that
a
you're
letter?
coming back like in another month? Do you get like
And that's okay.
Oh, they don't care.
You're coming back in a month?
Can reset. Yeah.
How come I didn't know about this?
November 1. I'm bringing my kids back.
Oh,
Bringing
that's
three
right.
three of my 4 boys.
So they give you a letter. It says you have to leave.
A text message.
What if you give him
What
the
if you
wrong
don't?
phone number?
Yeah. What if you don't?
That would be a problem.
What if you gave him like
They
319
send, like,
370?
I really don't want to screw this up.
270.
U.S. Marshals after you.
I'd like to come back.
You're going with his? Yeah. 319-270.
Yeah, give him 319-270. Hang on a minute.
Do the last 4. Let's see how many calls he gets.
My phone's not that.
We didn't have the Alaskan waffle this morning. Brett chickened out.
No.
You had some Vegemite though.
Did you eat Vegemite?
Yeah, he said it was a salty
Yeah,
six.
Oh, that was the salty 6.
Yeah.
So Wade was here yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, you want to get breakfast in the morning?" I'm like, "Sure, okay." So we go to 218, and
Which is really called the Vinton Family Restaurant, apparently.
Yeah, but it's on Highway 218.
Yeah.
So
The
we call
Viking
it,
Galley.
it's the old Viking Galley in Vinton, but we call it 218. At least my family calls it 218.
The only reason that I knew I had the right place this morning is that
218 sounds so much better.
It
than Vinton.
sounds
Sounds
trendy
classy.
and classy.
It does.
the
think of the
dolphin
old
killer was
218
parked out
though.
the front. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. That's what I call Brett's pickup, the dolphin killer. Well, it's very environmentally conscious, that
Correct.
vehicle. Hi, Jim.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Welcome.
It looks like a painting,
He does.
like a Van
Yeah.
Gogh. You know,
I've been called that a lot.
A Van.
Where
He's,
again?
he's a Van Went.
Wearing he's wearing his favorite shirt.
What does it say?
Yeah.
Want to go racing? Oh, the new shirt.
oh,
Vegas on
Next year, the shirt will be, you want to go racing for under $60,000.
do you know that you guys actually overtook you would vouch for this, the Late Model Nationals was all about Super Nationals.
It was.
Wasn't
I
it?
was there Saturday night.
Tony Bockoven was talking it right up. Krug was talking it right
They
up.
even talked about Boone spoons.
Ricky Thornton Jr. goes on the mic, "Every time I look at you, I think you're going to ask me what Boone spoon did I pull."
He did. That's great.
And then at the end, he said, "Knox shakalaka," when he won 50 grand. He did a hell of a job, boys. You would have been proud of him. 2018, I think, was the last time he won there in an IMCA modified.
That was a dirt tour race, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Probably the Harris Clash.
Yeah, it was Harris Clash.
I think I've
Probably
said
the last one.
I think I've said this before. I don't know if it was on a podcast or not, but what are the? I mean, am I the only person that thinks it's pretty freaking cool that the best late model racer in the country come out of an IMCA modified?
No, you're not the only person.
I think it's pretty freaking
Oh,
cool.
that's why I went to Knoxville Saturday. I knew he was going to start on the pole, and I thought it was going to be a cool story.
Because of the backdrop on we have I don't think I haven't thought for quite some time that IMCA racing or IMCA racers, in my opinion, get enough credit within the industry. I mean, we're known as the the International Motor Claiming Association.
Is that what it stood for?
Yeah, all this other kind of shit, and it to a certain extent, it's like, I don't know, because of our position on trying to control the costs a little bit more, try to control some of the direction that the race cars go in. I think to a certain extent, it's not as cool. People think it's not as cool, and I think that generally speaking, they think that the people who turn laps in IMCA aren't as talented. And I beg to differ. I've said it many times, and I'll say it till the last day I'm here at IMCA, that I think IMCA has some of the most talented racers in all the country in many of our divisions in dirt track racing, and I think Ricky is probably a very visible example of that, the best one at this point in time. There's other people that have come out of IMCA and had some success at other levels of racing, but
Jason Van Sickle.
yes,
Jason, by the way,
Yes?
Jason Van Sickle is the fastest electrician currently racing a modified in the country.
I thought he was
By
going to
far.
say Van Sickle is the fastest Van
By
Sickle.
far.
And in a race car, he's almost as fast as his brother's mouth.
So I have
Nothing's that fast. F-16s aren't that fast.
I thought that IMCA stood for I Mention C Australia. Apparently it doesn't. Ricky Thornton Jr. has very spirited kids, Ryan. Did you notice that?
They were jumping on the front of his car like it was a big giant slide.
They would run up the
slide.
hood
Oh
and
my God.
slam on it and then slide down. And the little guy, I think he was the second littlest.
Well, you know why? That way he made sure the droop rule. It passed the droop rule on the back.
There was no droop rule in his house. He's made 3 kids.
he pays them kids well to do that.
The middle one was walking with his mum holding hands. And I go, hey, mate, just reach over and do this. This is how he knuckled me. He gave me nugs. And he goes,
He's like
yeah,
3.
he did it. He did it like all in one movement. It was so flowing, and I was like, and his mum goes, "Oh my God, he's never done that before." I was like, "Well, if you've seen the week I've had between Gustin and this kid, I'm going to get a complex." Wow, that just hung there, didn't it? How was? Have you recovered from Supernational? Not you, because you don't do anything. But have you recovered from? All you do is drive the t-shirt trailer up and down the road. We saw that.
Yeah, I'm still making trips.
Does it take
Back
you
and forth,
a couple
back and
days
forth.
to get over it, Jerry?
Just Sunday.
Okay.
You were back to speed on Monday?
That was bad.
You had a full week.
I had to be back to speed on Monday.
It takes about a week for me to get. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't lose my voice, but I have no energy. I think that most of the people I've talked to, whether they raced, whether they were there as a crew member, whether they were there as a fan, the week can be exhausting. And
It's like a hangover.
It is. I mean, the
like
Boone
a-
hangover
yeah.
is
A
real.
week-long hangover.
What did
Yeah.
you do on Sunday, Brett? the
I
day
drove
after.
back and forth to Boone twice and I went to bed.
What about you, Jerry? What
I
you do?
did my stats.
Ryan, you did stats.
Stats, yeah.
Jerry, what'd you do?
I don't know.
You did laundry, didn't you? I thought
I
you
did
said you
laundry, and then
I'm sure Jackie welcomed you home with open arms.
yeah. I can't remember what I did. Oh, I got ready for last weekend.
I photographed a wedding.
Oh, you're up in South Dakota. right?
So I went to
Sunday?
Scooters. I went
South Dakota.
South Dakota. I went to Scooters there, and I was so tired. I asked Justin Clark on the way to the wedding, could he stop at Scooters? And I got one of those blueberry energy things, and I asked the girl, could you put an extra shot in? And she looked at me, her head went onto the side, and Justin goes, just give him lots of energy. And she put in 2 shots of coffee into my blueberry. It was literally the worst thing I've ever drunk the whole lot of.
Coffee and an energy.
It was horrible, but I drank
That
it.
sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that does sound disgusting.
Was that an air freshener hanging below your chin?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a picture of Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, we talked about that, didn't we?
We did.
Really? I don't look like Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah, you do.
Please,
I do?
Yes.
Are we allowed to put a picture up of that?
If we
'Cause
could get Jerry's glasses on Ryan.
oh,
Ryan.
No, let me see. Hold yours.
Nate, are you allowed to bring
Yeah.
up pictures
No,
of
no,
famous
put yours back.
actors?
Put yours on. Put yours
make
on.
the-
Yeah, they're close.
Oh, is there a way to
Yeah,
take a
like-
picture up of Jeff Goldblum?
I don't look like Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, you do. You
People
sound
used to
like
say
him.
Nicolas Cage, but I didn't like that either.
No, I
you
don't think
you look
Nicolas
more like
Cage.
Jeff.
I don't look like Jeff Goldblum.
Are we allowed to?
I think so.
Because we weren't allowed to on the live stream put up likenesses, right? We weren't allowed to put because I wanted to put Luke Skywalker up when Shyrock came out with his
Good. Yeah.
yellow
that's a good one.
glasses.
Oh, yeah. That
We need to have a segment in our podcast of
Who they look like,
Who they
who
look
people
like.
look like.
Because it's just a game that never gets old. You're going through airports or
Oh yeah.
Adventureland or wherever it may be.
Who was the Chargers quarterback that your wife always said you look
Phillip
like?
Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. That's
Well, I don't know if you know this tonight, but like
Mike
Tim
Nichols told
Ward
me
and
that.
Jonathan Winnie look pretty similar.
I've heard that.
Who?
Tim Ward and Jonathan Winnie.
It was Jonathan Mawhinney.
Yeah.
Races
Modified
the 12
third.
LF
The 12, yeah, the 12 LF modified.
Jerry
from Las
and
Vegas.
Jerry and Paul Berger.
Jerry and Paul Berger.
That's
That's
On
like-
the stage.
that's
and
scary.
he's
During
got
the
he's got
All-Star
another one,
That's
Earl Hearn Jr. as well. Like he's another lookalike.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you as well. That's the scary
I
bit.
know.
That is the scary bit. So one of my very funniest moments from Super Nationals was when Brett walked into the back of the booth after the video about Boone 2 had played.
Oh, they've been they have been moving dirt at Boone.
Yeah.
They have been moving dirt at Boone. Just
No joke.
just give everybody an update. They have been moving dirt at Boone.
The way
Jerry,
you
that's enough.
scrambled for the microphone to give to Brett. He walked in, you're like, give me the microphone. I'm glad you're here. So when does IMCA 2 start?
I can't answer that.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? That really got people gassed up, that Boone 2 thing.
Yeah.
The look on your faces in there because you hadn't seen the video was just like, and then the breakup video.
So is it true?
Well,
or not?
Nate's
is it a rumor or is it
what?
true?
I don't know. It depends. It
too?
depends on who you talk to.
I don't know. I went over the other day. I don't know what day it was. Friday, I think. Yeah, I stopped and saw you in Marshalltown for a couple minutes and went over to Boone, and Lottie had the scraper out in the field, and I'm like,
Yep. I talked to Rod, and he said he was moving dirt.
he's like, I can't do a lot at my age, but I can run a tractor.
Yeah.
And he had a big old box scraper. I'm like,
Has
where are you moving the dirt to?
Has a packer
In the
ever
field.
rolled over before in the history of Boone?
No, they've come unhooked, but
That's a good
never.
Gives you a pen. Yeah, yep.
One has never.
That was
crashed.
spectacular.
It was.
I'm just making note. Oh, that was another good one. Boop. Boop. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I just made it
Do
up.
you know
He
he
rolled over, and he just
It was
goes.
a good call. I thought that I called that. Most just got a little loose, and I think it was most, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that
Most.
he's never really experienced the announcing potpourri that is the
I
shit that
haven't.
we come up
There's
with?
shit going on in that booth. I'm like, when did this all start?
Yeah, he never heard
What
it.
do you mean? What's going on?
Like,
with
what
the-
do you mean?
Like when I'm in the infield, when I'm obviously in the pits, when the races are all going on, I don't hear anything that's going on. So I don't know.
He didn't
I
even
don't
know what you do.
I didn't know Wade. Literally,
Even talked.
I told him this. I told him. I just thought he was the guy that. I just thought he was the guy that talked to people.
Who swore?
the
Who
winner.
when they
swore?
won the heat races.
Yeah.
You
Well, yeah.
didn't-
I mean, that's what he does. I mean, that's.
All the
Part
other
of us.
time, I just figured he's over there just kind of like, I don't know. He's got his phone all the time. He's really talented with his phone. I'm kind of envious of that because he takes some really cool pictures.
His videos are second to none. Too.
Like the sack owl picture you took, and there was another.
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Oh, the Tim Ward from
I'm
behind.
like,
Yeah.
who the hell took that picture? Then I had to realize it was you. But he's taking it with his phone behind the car, hiding.
And Mikey,
that was pretty
little
cool.
turbo, he won at Clay County.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, I got to tell you his story as well from the bacon balls later.
Oh,
That night worked out at the Bogie Club.
I'm gonna have to excuse myself for a second because.
Wait, excuse me, what?
Wade's like, you want to eat breakfast? And I'm like, I don't normally eat
you got to
breakfast.
poop. You got to poop.
So I'm gonna skip
Just
out.
like your
for-
dogs did on the floor
I'll
in
be
the
back,
lobby.
I promise. I gotta skip. You don't have to. Come on now.
I think it's poop.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Does
I'll be
this-
back.
Did we stop now? When he does,
No.
when he walks out, we just keep
It
going.
happens.
Hey, like at Boone, we don't need him.
Now the podcast actually begins and it'll
Yeah.
The
be.
show goes on.
He just
It's
did we say something that offended
no.
him?
He doesn't
probably
make
has to
breakfast.
poop.
He normally goes for a run every morning. He might do kettlebells, then he comes to work. His breakfast regimen is very limited, so you probably threw his digestive system into a.
He really didn't understand what you guys did. I think that was a really good thing for him to listen in and be part of it and understand.
Go ahead, caller.
What's going on?
I don't. Go ahead, caller.
Hello. Hello, is Victor here from Kick Your Balls In. I won't speak to Brett Rutsky.
He's not here right now.
Victor?
Not want to speak to people from Iowa or dumb Aussie.
Well,
I
you're
want
gonna
to
have
speak
to.
to Brett Rutsky.
Well,
How did he
he's,
get
Brett
that number?
Rutsky there, not Jerry, not want to speak to Ryan, not want to speak to dumb Aussie. Just want to speak to Brett Rutsky.
Well, he's
Brett Rutsky, he have family here in Kick Your Balls In.
his family.
The
Oh,
Rutskinovich. The
Rutskinovich?
Rutskinovich family, they run the cars here at the Skoda series. And they want to speak to Brad Rutsky and ask him for two things. He maybe bring the IMCA stock cars to Kick Your Balls In. Maybe do another round at, Backcrack and Sekwex. You have a round there, perhaps. But I want to know, you do that, please, Brett Rutsky. And you also get the ice cream. You get the soft serve, the whippy ice cream. You get the ice cream for the Super Nationals for next year. I come from Kick Your Balls In if Brett Rutsky get the soft serve ice cream.
Huh.
Well, we can talk to him about it, but like you said, he's not here
He's
right
not
now,
here.
Victor.
Wow. Ice cream? That's a good call, though. Imagine that round at Back Crack and Sack Wax.
How did Victor get our number?
What do you
Yeah,
think?
how did
What do you-
Victor
How does Victor even know to call here?
Victor, are you still there?
Now, one thing I also want to know, Jerry.
Okay.
I want to know, Jerry, what car you drive.
Oh,
Jerry, from the Urbandale. Is that where you're from? The Urbandale? Sounds like a very strange place to me. What kind of car you drive, Jerry?
Oh, I got the Pimpala. Oh, and I got a F-150 pickup. It's like a 03 with
And a Lamborghini?
and a Lamborghini and some Chevrolets, Victor.
And what kind of car your girlfriend drive, Jerry?
Oh.
Well, why do you
I
want to
think
know
she
that?
drive better than you. What kind of car your girlfriend?
Very personal.
Is her name Jacqueline? Jacqueline. What kind of car Jacqueline drive?
Jacqueline.
She drives an Explorer, Ford Explorer. Victor, what is all with the car
It's
questions?
very personal, isn't it?
I know. It's like he's wanting to get a. He's not stalking us, is he?
I think he could do
And
better.
I want to know, Rian, which
he could
car
do
you
better.
drive, Rian? Maybe you drive a Fiat 600 Multipla? No? Or you drive a Citroen C4 Cactus? I think maybe you like Citroen Cactus. I not know for sure. I just think about the voice and the name, Rian. I think maybe you like to ride on
I
Cactus.
used to like you, Victor. I drive a Buick.
You know what? Cactus is actually a car. Sorry to cut you off there, Victor. A cactus is a real car. Google it.
Yeah, it
Fiat
is.
Cactus.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never rode a cactus before.
Kind of be a different kind of poke if you did, but
And what about you, dumb Aussie? What you
what is
driving?
his problem with
Don't
you?
know. You probably drive Ford Kangaroo or the Koala Bersky. I don't know what you drive in Australia. You probably ride silly motorcycle or something. I not know. You probably drive something very strange like a, I don't know, a Vagina. the Chevrolet Vagina.
You ride a
Maybe
Vagina.
you
You
ride
drive a
that? I'm
Vagina.
not
God,
sure.
I haven't been in one of those in a long time.
Anyway, I must go. Wife, cook up the cold soup. Ooh. Ay, ay, ay. More cold soup. I talk to you later. You tell Brad Rutsky. I want to get the ice cream, and I want also to get round and kick your balls in, and maybe one other round you do in the back crack and sack wax. I know that Belky very happy about that. All right, I go.
Why didn't he ask Jim what he wanted?
Brett,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
where the hell were you? We just had a call.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, did everything come out okay? Slide right out.
Oh. White Castles.
Maybe it was the Vegemite I had for.
Hey, we just had a phone call.
Victor just called.
Yeah.
Victor
From Kick Your Balls.
Kick Your Balls In.
Oh, good lord.
He wants to know if you bring stock cars to Kick Your Balls In.
Sure, why not?
And back crack and sack wax.
Yeah, why not?
And soft serve. You wanted whippy ice cream.
He just had his soft serve.
I love ice cream.
I got no nails left, Jerry. Can you open that, please? Wow,
got no
Jim.
nails.
Jim, what do you make of Victor from Kick Your Balls In?
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about Victor. It's just glad that we've reached a worldwide audience right now.
We had a poll.
We had a poll, and Victor is like everybody's new-
59%.
Let's check and see what it is.
Poor old Nigel just got.
Nigel. Well, he
still-
was busy with working on Marge's pair of eyes. As you, we all thought she got a new pair of you-know-whats, but it was just cataracts that she got new eyes. Better to see Nigel with.
Is the racing season in Kick Your Balls In the same as it is in the United States?
I have no idea. You
I mean,
have
these
to
are
ask.
questions we're going to have to know the answers to. If it
That's
fits in
right.
our
If
If,
We don't
they
even-
want stock cars over
Yeah,
there, we have to know.
if Victor
How's
wants
it going to
stuff,
fit into our point season?
Yeah, it's gotta
Exactly.
be.
It's got to fit into our points.
Did you know you have family there?
Yeah,
No, I don't.
yeah, that's why he wants to bring stock cars.
The Rutskinavich family, he said. You've got family there
And they promote the car and scooter races.
in the Scooters. Because I guess that's the number one.
We do need scooters. I mean, that'd be a good division. We could add that.
I've always said we should.
We could
race
take
golf
stock
carts.
stock cars to kick your balls in.
Can
and
I
then
say
we
what I
could do
really want to
scooters.
see at Super Nationals? Just one race, a mobility scooter race. But you have to be legit. You can't just like go and hop one up. Or hang on, maybe you can. Maybe it's an outlaw mobility scooter race. Just a one lapper. Jim, you've
They
got
go
one.
under.
What do you think?
Alternative rules.
Yeah,
for
I
the
saw him
motor
at the
scooter.
fair on one.
You got to have a gas bottle hooked up. Like it's got to be legit, right? You can't just roll out a 350 Chevy. But that would be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
It would be.
A mobility scooter race.
Yeah. Is that what you call them, right? Mobility scooters?
Yeah.
I think so.
How quick a lap times do they turn?
Well,
So besides Victor, what
probably
else did I
sport
miss?
compact around that sort of.
It was just Victor.
That's all I missed was Victor.
I don't understand how Victor called when you
You
left.
wanted to know what car Rian drove, and you wanted to know what car Jerry's girlfriend Jacqueline drove,
Yeah.
and then he just basically just abused me the whole time. Called me the dumb Aussie. What are you doing, Jerry?
Looking up the poll and I hit the wrong button, but Victor had like 68%.
I still like
That's
Nigel.
not the poll that was there Friday night, was it?
No, different poll, Jim.
Okay.
Oh, that was horrific. Once again, that's just, I didn't know that Boone had a zoo until I came to Friday Night Super Nationals. There's a lot of livestock getting around there. And I love that. This is where America and Australia differs so much. There's married couples pulled up in their golf carts like they're at a drive-in movie watching that.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, you see old
When in Rome.
Mercedes up there?
No, I think that was more like their.
Little short person. Mercedes. Porsche. Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Lexus.
Oh, Lexus is a good one.
Welcome to the main
Cinnamon.
Welcome to the
Cinnamon.
stage.
What,
Cadillac.
racing-wise, what's left now for IMCA? What are you guys doing?
I'm trying
Well,
to process the first
Bar
half
point-
hour of this podcast.
I think we all
Well,
are.
Brett processed the first half of the podcast and the crapper.
You know,
got
I
races
think
coming
what
up.
we need to do did
We-
we have to run a B feature at Boone this year? Did we get to enough cars?
We only had 1,017. I
We
don't
were
think.
too short of a
Yeah,
B
we
main.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, we could start them all.
yeah. It'll be a lot easier with 2 tracks next year too.
Oh, so much
would be.
easier.
We just split it. We did 500 on each track.
Well, I heard that an event from up north was going to move down here and run on that other track. Well, I hate to call it an event. A little race up north was going to come down and run on the little track at the same time. Any truth to that?
Never know.
So a Canadian series or not that far north?
Not
never
that
know.
far north.
Never know.
So like a cheese place or something.
So back to like the stuff that actually happened at the Super Nationals.
Austin Basura's got a good beard.
He does.
He's on the
Ryan-
screen there. And
I don't know if he has that.
Ryan,
That's last
give
year.
us some
No, it was
stats,
in
no, it's
Ryan.
still a good beard.
What do you want? I'd have to come off the top of my head.
How many laps? Total
Like
laps.
4,700, I think, somewhere in there. 4,800.
How many races?
460 or something like that.
How many farm sessions?
I did keep track of that, but I don't remember. I think I stopped
How many
keeping
black
track.
flags?
Black flags was around 70 or 80.
Not many
I
tiny
think farming
Tims.
sessions was about
Not many
30,
jump
40.
starts. Really? Not many jump starts?
No, there wasn't.
weren't
There
very many
wasn't too
jump
many
starts.
Tiny Tims this year. Everybody did a nice
There
job.
weren't a lot of jump starts. There weren't a lot of cars that needed to be moved. I mean, it went very smoothly
Yes.
as far as.
Yeah.
What was the name that someone suggested one of the callers was in that poll? It was about golf cart.
Nah, I can't remember.
Remove your golf cart or something like that.
This is Virginia from Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia from Virginia called.
You're very good at the voice thing, Brett.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you done it before?
Yeah, have you done this before?
If I have to.
What other stats you want, Jim?
Strange how Victor called when you were off.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can't figure out how Victor called when Brett went to the
It's so
bathroom.
strange.
Is there any evidence
I can't
that you
make
were in the
voice.
Yeah, is there any evidence that you went to
that you were
bathroom?
having an eye poop?
I don't think I can make that voice. I just don't.
This is Victor.
Never say never, though.
It's very coincidental that you left
It's like
when
2
he called.
racetracks at Boone. Never know.
That sent people mad. How many steak sandwiches get sold? I wish we knew that.
I don't know.
Oh, so
A
one
lot
of my
cows.
More than two. less than a
Sparkles
million.
by Mariah.
Oh, yeah. with the
That was a
car.
good story.
Oh yeah, the little girl. That was
She eats-
That's
J.R.
very-
Herrera's
Oh,
daughter.
Jay
Entrepreneur.
Maya.
That's so cool.
Mariah. She eats 6 steak sandwiches a day.
Well, she like was working the whole time, like washing
Yeah, she
cars.
was.
and-
She was going around.
Oh
the
my
pits
God.
with
That's
her
still
wagon
a
and
lot
all
of
that.
flesh to process for a grown person, let alone a little old.
I did speak with her and her dad JR for a little while towards the end of the week, and they had one request. They said, if we'd really want to come back next year, but is there any way that we could like get a golf cart or something that we could pull her wagon around, because she was just wore out.
I couldn't imagine.
Can you imagine how
Just pulling that around, let alone the work she was doing.
Yeah, she was like,
I know
think
where
said
she
was
gets her
13
appetite
in
for
8th
steak.
grade, I think.
Oh, really?
Who's the steak eater, Jim?
Well, her dad has been known to. I think we've gone to dinner with her dad actually at some of the finer steakhouses in Indianapolis.
Yeah,
And it was quite the night.
it was.
If you got her a golf cart, she'll end
Talked to
up.
Jake Bicker lately.
She'll be able to.
She'll make more money than Tim Ward
Probably.
because
funny.
she
Speaking of Tim Ward, I want to
He
mention
won.
it too. You know, they auctioned off that Tire Demon.
Yeah.
And they were going to give I think they auctioned it off for $2,800 and
Tim Love was going to match
match
that
it,
and
which he
donate.
did do.
Yep.
Tim wrote a check that night, so $5,600, I think, if I'm doing the math correctly. And they were going to donate it to. I'm going to have to look on my phone. Hope for Howard. It's a charity.
I'm just gonna look at his phone.
I have to look this up. Sorry, I should be more prepared.
See if he's got any calls that came to this place.
I was
Stay
thinking of
off my
nudes, but
phone.
let's go with the phone thing, I guess.
Hope for Harvey. I'm sorry.
Oh.
The Hope for Harvey Foundation. They're based out of Austin, Texas. Is the
That's cool.
Is the charity that
What do they raise money for?
he doesn't say. I wondered the same thing. I just asked him, "Hey, what do you want to do with this money?" Because I had the money. He had said there was a charity they were giving to. It was called Hope for Harvey, Michelle Schmidt's cousin. So there's some relation there to the Schmidt family. Didn't say what it's for. There's just Hope for Harvey Foundation.
Oh, you know, I saw these stickers Friday
based
night
in
at
Austin,
Marshalltown.
Texas. So we're gonna send a check. We'll send a check from IMCA to Hope for Harvey Foundation in Austin, Texas.
that's
We'll do that
nice.
this
Cool.
week.
It says their mission is to
Post that
further-
on our Facebook page. So
they're to further research and create translational medicine and treatment options that create a better quality of life for DLG4 patients. Not sure what DLG4 in the long term.
Have to Google it.
yeah. So anyhow, I wanted to mention that. I thought that was very.
Yeah, that is
It's
cool.
I
always
thought that was a
to
cool
raise
thing to
money
do.
for good causes.
I agree.
Yeah, we didn't have any idea that was going to happen. We auctioned that.
No,
Tire
they came
Demon
up to
off
me
on
and said,
Facebook.
"Hey, can we do this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't see why not."
We did that. I think was it during the engine auction?
This is the
I
very
think it
first
was.
thing
Yeah.
he did.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought so. 5,600 raised for the Hope for Harvey Foundation, which is pretty cool.
Speaking
also
of raising money, I think is she here? She ready?
This is
Hello,
such a-
hello, hello.
Whoa!
Holy cow! Is that Nikki Webb?
Uh-huh.
It is.
How rude of you, Brian. I thought you liked me.
I do like you. I like you a lot. It's so exciting to see you today.
I bet
I
it is.
think this has to be one of the best stories in not only IMCA racing, but all of racing. Nikki, tell us a little bit about the race you had last week.
Okay. It was called the Race for Time. John came up with this idea about 6 or 7 years ago. And what we did, or what John did, is he reached out to all the racers like 2 or 3 weeks before the actual weekend of the race. And he said, guys, I want to put on a race and I want you guys to be a part of it. He goes, now I want you to understand, you're not going to get any pay for this. You're not going to get anything. He says, except the feeling in your heart. He says, I want all of our proceeds to go to a location in Oklahoma City. It's called the Jimmy Everest Foundation for Childhood Cancer. And the drivers were like, okay. John told him, he said, you know, every week when you show up here, there's a chance that you're going to go home with nothing. There's a chance you're going to blow a motor. There's a chance you're going to have a problem, you know, so let's take that chance and let's give it back. So here's John, after the very first year that we did it, we had over 100 cars the first year we've done it. And John and I cannot do this race every year without all of our drivers. Our drivers step up tremendously every year.
It's not our race. It's the
No.
driver's
It's
race.
the driver's race. We've given this race to the drivers. John kind of spearheaded it. We got on board with the Cancer Center in Oklahoma City, and the drivers have taken over with it. This past weekend, we had 128 drivers pull through our gate. And within an hour and a half to 2 hours from us, there was races going on that was paying $5,000 to win, $4,000 to win. and the drivers chose to come to our racetrack to give back to these children who are fighting cancer. So right there tells you how wonderful race car drivers are and how they can be.
Racing family.
Yeah, the racing family is just tremendous. We also get corporate sponsors that help us a lot. And this year I've got a few. Teresa kind of wanted me to mention a couple of them. Okay. So anyways, this year last year our goal was 90,000 and we reached it.
Wow.
This year we have surpassed our goal. We are a little over $100,000 that we raised this weekend.
Wow.
Wowzers.
That's crazy.
And not only do our drivers give back, but our employees give back. Our employees donate their pay from the night. And then our fans give tremendously throughout the whole night. We do fundraisers, we do auctions. I know a lot of people saw my Kiss the Pig campaign this year. That was new. And the Kiss the Pig campaign raised over $3,000 in itself. And I'm sitting next to who got to kiss the pig.
Wow, that happens on Friday night at Super Nationals. If you could raise individual money for how many times that happens, some even dance with them.
So,
Sorry, Webby.
but I mean, you're fine. You're a fine way. But anyways, this past weekend was just completely amazing. We cannot thank the drivers because without them, we would not be able to put this race on because you don't have cars on the track, you don't have fans, and you don't need employees. So the drivers is who has really taken over this race and just come out in droves to help these children. And it's just amazing. You got something to say there, Mr. Webb?
He's speechless.
So I mean, it is an awesome cause, and we love it.
When you're married to something like this, you don't have time to speak.
You need to go back to the shop and work.
But that's just incredible. $100,000. I mean, for what you guys do. I mean, yeah, once again, you got to appreciate the racers, your employees, but it takes somebody strong at the top of the food chain to put this together to make it work. And I don't know how many tracks or how many promoters could pull off what you guys pulled off for such a great cause.
Jim, you and I were talking.
Rides to the, kids that came down from the Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm. They, I put out a Facebook post on Friday, and I told them, I said, guys, the kiddos are going to be coming to the track about 4:00. If anybody can be there early to give rides, that would be great. I had 2 lines of cars with about 10 cars deep.
Wow.
Just waiting for the kids to get in their race cars, and they drove them all around the racetrack. And
Cool.
The coolest thing though is if you could have seen the kids' face when they climb in those race cars.
Yeah.
They got hoses coming out of their nose.
yeah, they have no hair. They have the hair.
But they got the biggest smile
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
on their face.
We had one who was in a wheelchair, and he was just fist bumping, and he was just screaming. He was just so excited.
And that makes it worthwhile.
It's amazing to see that these
That's so
kids
good.
get to have the opportunity to be just a kid one night and not have to worry about all the sickness and everything that they're going through. It's so awesome.
Well, that's just fantastic
you
what you
guys.
guys
So
do.
emotional to talk about.
Yeah. You
Jimmy-
you raised like a third of Jim's salary. That's pretty impressive.
Lifetime salary.
Well, Jim, you and I were talking today on the,
Just in the look,
I'll
Brett
do
just
all
came in.
the racetrack.
What?
Jim, you and I were talking on the way over here today. You talked about them being able to pull this off. And I don't know of any tracks that could draw 120, 130 cars
For
for
zero
people to
points.
race
For
for
zero
nothing.
money.
I mean, that's a testament to you guys, John and Nikki, for the great work that you do. I mean, it's just unbelievable to think that, yeah, the racing family is strong, but to pull off what you do is just, it's
And once
amazing.
again, everything,
It's
all the money
impressive.
that comes through the gates. I mean, the drivers buy a pit pass just like normal, and all that
And then I
money.
reimburse them. I reimburse them that
The
$30.
drivers.
The drivers, when they come through the gate, and they'll pay their $30. And then when they come to check in to get on the lineup board to race, I give them back their $30.
So the drivers has no cost
Yeah,
to
so
them
there's no
besides fuel
cost.
and tires.
That's all that they have to pay for.
And you'll be surprised how many of them give that back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
was
they do.
thinking
A
you were gonna
lot of
say
them
that.
gave that $30 back.
That's fantastic. That's just neat. I mean, there's, sometimes we hear so much negative shit that can be associated with what we do. And then to hear something like this, it just makes it all better. You know what I mean? It makes all the crap seem a little bit better and more worthwhile.
And if you think the racers don't race,
Oh my
they
gosh.
put on a show.
We had-
They race like
It
a
was
record
a-
for a million.
Yeah, it was like we had one go up on the wall, drive back down. I mean, it's hard racing. Honestly, you would think that they were at that racetrack that had the 5,000 to win money. I mean, they don't hold back. They race hard.
That goes to show you a racer's a racer at the end of the day.
Yep.
They are.
Well, that helmet goes on. They got one thing on their mind. That's winning.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Well,
pretty cool that you can gather that many racers together for a common cause like that, and they all participate. It just says a lot. I think it says a lot about the culture that John and Nikki, I think, have at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. That's just my opinion of it. You guys are very giving people. You're very generous. I know this personally. So it's people want to be around people like you too. And so and besides the fact, Southern Oklahoma Speedway is an awesome racetrack.
Unbelievable.
It's an awesome racetrack. I mean, it's one of the best race surfaces that you're ever going to watch dirt track racing on. So there's a lot of cool things at Southern Oklahoma.
And
it's
I
not
know
just,
it takes John a good, half hour, 45 minutes to prep his track. And
I refuse to start before noon.
He doesn't touch that track all week, and he don't start until noon on Saturday.
hear that, Rob?
Have Flo and
Swing the gate open. People flying.
have Flo and Mingo ever been there?
No, Flo and Mingo have never been there.
But speaking of the race tracks and stuff like that, I do want to give a shout out to Hot Speedway and Abilene Speedway. They did donate some stuff back to our drivers. They got on board a little bit with us this year too. So it's like all of us are starting to work together, and that is amazing. I do want to tell them thank you.
Yeah, Jerry at Heart of Texas, and obviously Rob and Libby at Abilene are very good promoters as well. They're also very caring people. They care about their facilities. They care about racing. It's not. To those who know, to those of us who get to know the promoters a little better than the racers do at times. To see you guys doing these kinds of things down there really doesn't surprise us. It fits right with who we think you are as people, and it's pretty cool that you do it. And racetracks getting along is always a positive, in my opinion. And you guys are doing your best down there to work with all the other racetracks.
Yes.
I mean, from the Tom stuff that John does, to just working on specials at the end of the year and the weekly racing and
The
nights
All-Star
off
series.
and the All-Stars. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that there's a lot of positives and a lot of positive influence you have on racing down there. I hope you guys both know that. I hope you know that. I think a lot of people appreciate it, not just us up here in the North, us Yankees. But
It's the love of racing.
Yes.
yeah,
The
it
love of racing.
shows. It really shows. I mean, it's hard to put it into words.
Are you implying that they're from the South? Because I call bullshit.
We're not south as you way.
Yeah, that's right. They're Yankees. I'm the one that's from the South. Although, Webby, you got a gorgeous accent, mate. If I took you to Australia, Nikki would be all over you trying to keep the women off you, mate, because they're like, I think Australia's real cool. They'd be like, oh, my God, he's down so cool.
Well,
Don't let him down to Australia, Nikki.
we just appreciate everything you guys
very much
have
so.
done. And we couldn't be prouder to have you guys as a part of the IMCA family. And it's just been great for us on everything. You know what I mean? The help that you've given us and everybody, it's been outstanding.
For sure.
And that is a two-way street, by
Yes.
the way.
You guys
Without
help us.
IMCA,
You guys help
where
us a lot.
would
also.
racing be in a hope?
Well, we appreciate that.
John, did you start? Let's go back to Super Nationals a little bit. Did you start up front in a qualifier?
What's that?
Did you start up front in a
Oh, the
qualifier?
conversation's going to go south now. isn't
You
it?
did, didn't you?
No.
Wait,
No,
at
he
the
was in a
Prelude?
He was in a
qualifier.
qualifier.
It was in a qualifier.
Yeah.
Wasn't you?
You'd start on the front
Yeah,
row,
I've been-
didn't you?
No,
No, I started third,
Second row inside.
second row.
It was
inside,
up front. I didn't know if it was the Prelude. It all runs together for me. I just remember you
Uh-huh.
were
That was
up.
It does.
Wednesday, wasn't it?
That was Wednesday.
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
Yeah.
That's when I learned what mate means. You know, down here in the South, we just call them friends.
Yes.
But now I'm going to start calling them mates.
Yeah. That's right. You know, mate can be a really beautiful thing, and it can be passive aggressive. So it's like, oh, thanks, mate. And it can be like, mate, I'm going to knock your head off.
We're like,
So
hey,
whether you
pal.
can hear,
pal.
or dude.
Or it could be mate. How about
Whoa.
There we go.
How about
Welcome to IMCA DirtCast
Listen,
after
After
dark.
Dark.
Woo!
Now.
Get it on, Webby.
Let's get it
Did
on.
you see Nikki just go, wait a minute? Are they gone? They still there? Oh, there you are.
Oh,
She's
there.
blushing.
No, he's a mess. He's a mess. I deal with this all the time.
We certainly do appreciate everything you guys do for not only, the Cancer Society, but everything for IMCA and racing as a whole. It's great to have you guys on board, and knowing you guys, you got about a million things going on right now.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the time, and I'm sure we will talk later.
Okay, we
Anytime.
will. Thanks for
Thank
having
y'all.
us.
Great show at the Super Nationals.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
They got great accents, don't they?
They're just good people.
Thank,
They are
thank.
just
Oh my God, yes.
good people.
Yeah.
They had famous neighbor too. You remember? Remember we talked about that? The Tiger King was there.
Oh, yes.
Their shop was right next to the zoo.
I probably got this wrong, but we were driving down the road after Super Nationals either last year or the year before. Were they the people that got their trailer stolen?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the rig
Yes.
stolen.
Ah.
And
Look at me go.
That was last year, I think.
See,
Yeah,
I do.
it
I
was.
do. I listen.
Some crackhead stole it or something
crackhead,
like
yeah,
that.
drove it through a fence and a ditch.
Yeah, and drug it through a field and just tore it all to pieces.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing of it is the whole time the trailer was it was up off the ball, so they were towing it by the chains.
Just told it
I've
by
done
the
that.
chain.
Not on purpose.
Done that?
And I had plenty of time to set up for it.
Did you guys hear about, speaking of good people in racing, did you hear about that story of the guy in Kansas whose hauler and car started on
Oh
fire?
yeah, they're going to Concordia or something.
Yeah, they were. I'm trying to look the guy's name up. He was a point leader in the sport mod division. On his way to Concordia, his trailer burst into flames.
Oh yeah, no, it was the whole thing.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
lost everything. And Cody Williams, Meatloaf got him a car to race to maintain his point. He and I think Tyler Fry worked together
Yeah.
to get this guy on the track that night with just 2 points nights left, so he could contend for a championship. Was just so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a great guy and supports a lot of racing. He owns a little car dealership, I believe, in Beatrice.
Grabowski.
Grabowski did.
Yep. Grabowski works for him.
Yeah, I know where that car yard is in Beatrice. There's only one, isn't there? It's a pretty small place. It's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side as you drive towards Sadoff's. Sideshow Bob.
I keep steering us back to Super Nationals. So back to Super Nationals. Anybody have any what was your
Moment.
Wade? Did you have one?
God. There's so many.
There is.
I really loved hearing Kat Morris sing the national anthem. She did an amazing job. I really loved hearing Paul Smith sing it. He speeds it up a little. I like that. I really love seeing Princess Emily every time. And I really love when Jackie just goes next level. Like when Panda rode past and Jackie just kicked into an extra gear. It was like, ooh, that didn't give you. And thank you for playing my anthem too, Jerry.
You're welcome.
That was very special. It actually caught me off guard how much
That was a cool idea.
that meant to me. So
Wish I could say it was mine, but it wasn't.
well, you can say it.
Jerry had that idea.
He did.
I actually had tears in my eyes in the booth.
Yeah,
that was
it's a very special thing to hear anthem played in another country. You guys, you'll all I've invited you all, down to my neck of the woods. Just put it out there. NATO Potato too. We could do an IMCA TV, special down under. IMCA down under.
Well, we're halfway there with Maui in Jim's office.
That's right.
We could all load up on Spec.
Why not go the whole way?
IMCA 1, like Air Force 1.
Jim can just jump out when we fly over.
With no parachute.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll give him a parachute.
Who was it? Was it Kurt that got? Who was it that got emotional about the golf cart incident? And he's talking about
Troy
his wife.
Burkhart.
Troy Burkhart.
Yeah, Troy got that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, and then I seen the video of him in the tech area, and he was a different Troy Burkhart. He wasn't the gentle giant with somebody because he popped him out of a transfer spot.
What about Dilly turning that guy around after the race when he got? Who was that guy
Racers
on
are
the back
passionate.
straight?
That's how I explain that. Racers are passionate. When they don't give a shit, that's when you need to worry.
What
When they
I
don't
what I
care
like
about
was
what
seeing
happens.
Burkhart go faster sideways.
Ooh, that was
I've
scary.
never seen a car go that fast.
That was
sideways.
scary. That's the turn 3 incident, Jim. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought we
he
were
was
going to have.
launching.
I thought that was going to be a Talladega wreck.
I asked him about that. I said, "What did you?" He says, "I just kept her floored." I go. He goes, "I felt it bounce," and he says, "I went shit. If I don't keep the wheel spinning, I'm flipping
Yeah.
it." So he says, "I just put her to the wood." Just,
That took me back to when Jamie Johnson went off of turn 3 like 10 years ago and he launched out into the trees
Oh,
on his
yeah.
throttle stuff.
Oh.
That was just
Then there was
That video's
another
still
wreck
on
on the
YouTube.
backstretch in a mod. Reminded me of the Bill Davis Jr. crash.
Yeah, it was
when he
good.
got when he
Oh,
broke
yeah.
and hit, and they just. I mean,
I think I was on the race. I think I was doing the race control that night. It was Wednesday night, I think, is where that one happened on Sport Mod last. It was in the LCQ, I think.
yeah, down and they're just like.
Do you think we could
Those
have
things
a?
happen so fast.
well, Sal Hernandez too. He got upside
Sal
down.
Hernandez, yeah,
that
he
was
was
wicked.
He was the flip
crazy.
of the week.
Yeah.
Do you think we could have a best dressed award, like every year costume? Because I think the Boone Spoon guy had to be right up there.
That
was
Boone Spoon deal was
that was
pretty
completely left of field.
That's a
If
good idea.
you have just a
We had the naked guy riding the shovel one year.
Chicken
With
Man.
Chicken Man.
Chicken Man. That was
Chicken
it.
Man.
That
Yeah,
was it.
Ryan got up close and personal with Chicken Man
No,
one time.
I
Yeah, he
interviewed
came
him
down.
one
You
year.
interviewed him.
I interviewed him down front.
Kukowski, sorry.
I think he was stoned.
The look on Tom's face when he come by him.
On the shovel?
What TV show did that?
Tosh
end up
Point Oh.
getting on?
Yeah, it ended up on Tosh.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy. Well, okay, so
What do you think he was?
somebody has brought different. He brought different entertainment.
He's
in the
from
past.
Sioux City, though, right? The
With
Sioux
Jimmy
City
Cole, yeah,
area,
he's
so
with
that
Jimmy
explains
Cole.
everything.
Did he have his
who also
Charlie Boy
brings
out?
the adult
Yeah,
entertainment.
so he had a 4-wheeler with a shovel, and this dude was in a chicken suit. We called him Chicken Man, and
Chicken
he
head.
rode this shovel around the pits,
and
and then decided to
Like a scoop
get,
get rid of the
get rid of
the
everything but the
chicken
chicken head.
So he
And he rode naked on it.
on a shovel.
he got the nuggets out
Yeah, yeah.
and the
And
drumstick.
it made Tosh.0. Chicken Man.
One of our finer moments at Super Nationals.
It's been about 10,
Well,
12
you know,
years.
God, that's been a long time ago.
I'll tell you.
That's right after, yeah.
I'll tell you what just keeps getting better and better is the broadcast coverage.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, it is unbelievable
Good stuff.
to sit
So
and
good.
watch that. And Nate and Chris and their whole crew.
The Unabombers.
I mean, just an outstanding
Drone
job.
Boys
It's-
1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's just next level,
that was
isn't
it.
it?
Hey, Drone Boy, come here.
Then I realized when he stood up, he was like 6'8".
He's tall.
There's just so many things about Super Nationals that are going on, obviously in front of the cameras, and there's so many things going on behind the scenes that
I like the jumbos in the middle like that.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
Yeah,
good.
that was
A
neat.
lot
The
of
only-
people like
The
that.
only complaint that I heard about the jumbotrons in the infield was the backstretch people couldn't see the flag man.
And to explain that, and we made that decision last minute. We pulled the stage out of there probably 10 days before the race started, and so we decided we were going to have one jumbotron in the infield, and we were able to locate another one, so we threw another one behind it. And we don't have any hard wiring out there. We had to send a Wi-Fi feed down to it, which means all you can do is split the feed at that point once it's down there. So the front screen always showed what the back screen was showing, or vice versa. We already got plans to run hard wires down. We're gonna have 3 jumbo screens in there, in next year is the plan.
In the
One
infield?
yeah.
Three?
Wow.
Yeah, one for
like
the front
triangular?
stretch, one for the front stretch,
Yeah.
one for the back stretch, and one for turns 1 and 2.
Well,
You could hang it from the
then if you
ceiling like they do at
figure
the
in
Staples Center.
So there'll be
Get a
There'll be
crane
six.
and
Oh,
just
so you can
There'll be
see
6
from the catwalk.
Yes.
Jumbotron.
On the
Yeah,
inside.
bigger in the other
so
track,
no matter
too.
where you're sitting, you're going to have a drone shot or a replay or something of that nature. So yeah, we were already planning on boring the hard wires down there to run. individual
speaking of drone
Jumbotron
footage,
feeds and everything
that
else.
is the single most unbelievable drone
good
footage
stuff.
I've ever. I show that to everyone in Australia.
good stuff.
Everyone.
Everybody's like, when are you going to put GoPros in the cars? It's like, why would we put GoPros in them?
Well, we saw that the other night at Clay County. Someone tried to put a GoPro in there. Remember?
He gets hit by mud or something, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they've crashed a drone yet. We had the Iowa Tourism Board out there. They do.
Somebody did crash.
They do oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Because I think who's the guy that's really cool that used to ride right forward on the tractor during the farming? One of the track crew. He always used to sit right forward. It's not Rod. It's the other
Hank.
Yes, Hank. He brought me up the crash. He brought me up the
Oh
crash.
yeah. So yeah.
I think
just
that
give
was
it
from
to
your
me like-
tourism.
I guess that's yours.
The one
Yeah, the
that-
tourism board. We had
Oh.
the State of Iowa Tourism Board there this year on.
Oh,
I think they came
wow.
on.
And what's the
Wednesday.
documentary going to be like?
And we have a documentary that's in the works.
Jeremy was in filming it.
Yep, Jeremy Cross. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on behind the scenes still that everybody's working on. I'm looking forward to the segment that Wade did with my wife, Virginia,
Whoa.
about words.
Whoa.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
You
we
did a
heard it.
segment with Virginia?
Well,
Right?
and Byron was there, so it was the weirdest
They-
tra you've ever seen in your life.
about words, which I thought was cool. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a doctor's appointment. Now, this is no shit, so I got to skip out.
So are we going to hear from Victor again?
You going to go see Colin?
I've already seen
Colin from
this-
Kelowna.
Colin from Kelowna.
Colin from Colorado.
I've already seen Colin from Kelowna has already visited me this year.
ectomy.
Already been to the office.
Oh, wow.
So
So what was the point? What was your question again? Well, I got really
I'm gonna
distracted.
skip out before I do. I just want to thank everybody. I thank all three of you. Obviously, thank Jim, thank Nate, thank everybody who participated at the Super Nationals. Whether you're as a racer or even just race fans that come from all over the place. The cool thing about Boone is you get to meet people from all over the United States. We all come together for our common cause because we love dirt track racing, and then you have the talent that we do on the facility that we do, put on the show that they do. It's just, to me, there's just nothing like it. It's really, really hard to describe to somebody who's never been there. But
You can't.
it's so cool to be a part of. I cannot tell you how awesome I think it is to be able to be a small part of this event. I'm very, very proud of it, and I'm very proud of everybody that works for us, all of our staff, all the people at Boone Speedway, all the temporary help, all the full-time help. There's a lot of moving parts in this deal. But I just want to take the time to thank everybody. Absolutely could not do it without each and every one of you. So I'm looking forward to next year already, as weird as that may be. And I'm not even done from this year. I still
We got to
gotta
build that
unpack
second
shit
track
and-
yet, though, before we can go next.
Yeah, we got to get another racetrack built. I mean,
Which
there's
one are you going to work at?
a lot of stuff.
I'm just
going on.
excited that I don't have to stand next to you for 8 days. I'm just.
But again, I want to thank everybody.
That's why we did it.
I got a doctor's appointment.
In Australia, we would say that Brett is a good, what Jimmy Gustin said.
He's a GC.
Don't say
huh?
that word.
Is it GC?
Oh,
Yes.
there's 2 words we can't say. That
Yeah,
means there's
that's
2
one
words.
for sure.
Yeah, go get
The
that
one's
finger.
already
in the
Say
been
butt.
hi to
said.
Colin
Roger
for me.
said it last podcast.
What's that, Jim?
You think Victor's going to call back
dropped
now?
the
He's
F-bomb
gone.
the last podcast.
Oh, he did. Roger did drop the bomb last time, didn't he?
Do you think Victor's going to call back now that Brett's left?
That's what I said. I think there's just something weird about that.
He's right though, Jim. You didn't wear the sun visor anywhere near as much as I would have liked, but you wore the Walter Matthau hat this year, which I thought was a nice touch.
I changed it up.
Yeah,
Called
how do
him-
you?
we called
Yeah,
him Magoo.
Magoo
always.
had the Mr. Magoo hat.
Goo was a different word to me at Super Nationals. Jim, what do you love about it? What do you love about Super Nationals?
I don't know if you can just pick one thing. I mean, it's everything. You start with the racing. The job that Rod does on the racetrack is
wow.
second to none. So you have great racing all the time. It's just the people. It's the whole atmosphere. I've been going to Boone for Super Nationals for 30 some odd years, and you can't explain what that event's like, what goes on there. You just can't explain it. It's something that everybody has to live at least once. I was out in Pennsylvania this past weekend, and there was a number of drivers who made the trip to Pennsylvania, and for the first time, and they're saying, wow, how do you guys do this? How does this happen? How does this happen? I wish I had an answer. It's like Brett said, it's just a well-oiled machine that's been together. We've all been together for a long time, and I don't know any other facility or any other people that could pull it off. A lot have tried, but not with near success.
Jimmy,
We've had at Boone.
The bleachers at Spencer. When Jerry first told me about Super Nationals, I had in my mind it was like a fairground, right? Because when you say 1,000 cars, you go, "Well, this joint's got to be like a mile track or a half mile." I had in my mind the bleachers at Clay County, and so when you took me there on that day, Monday or something, there was no one there, and we sat up in the oil rig, that grandstand in turn one, and I was like, "This is it." Like, I didn't mean I wasn't underwhelmed, but I thought, how do you logistically put 1,000 cars around this place? It's a hard thing how you do fit it. I was talking to Lordy. I had a good conversation to Lordy. He likes you two. You can stay, apparently. It was at Knoxville.
I'm his wife's favorite human, so I'm not worried about me.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of a chat, and he said they're still trying to obtain more land so they can still get bigger and bigger with the camping, and it's phenomenal.
You were talking about things that you like about Boone. To me, it's not just an escape from the world, but when you're in Boone for a week, nothing outside of what goes on there matters. I don't follow the news. I don't follow anything else outside of what's going on right there at Boone Speedway, because nothing else matters, because there's so much going on. There's so much to do. The racing is great. The people are great. That it's home for a week, and the rest of the world just doesn't exist for those 8 days.
I've always said that whether it's Super Nationals or like a weekly show or a race night, it's people's way to race. It's like you just said, you escape reality. You get three, like on a weekly Friday night or a weekly set, you get 3 to 5 hours, and you just forget about what's going on in the world because this is what you want to do. And like that week, I mean,
you race and you sleep, and that's it. Some people might sleep.
I mean, I never
but
watched the news, didn't listen to the radio, nothing. You're on vacation. When you go on vacation, you don't care about what happens in the world.
When we drove through to where did we go the other day? We did the road trip.
I went to Spencer.
Right, so we went through Boone on the way through there, and I said, "Can we stop and get some lunch?" And Jerry's like, "Where do you want to stop?" And I thought, there's only one place you can stop that supports that place like it did. So where did we go?
Saints Avenue.
Saints Avenue Buffet. And then there was racing people in there that wanted to talk. Like, it was just, I only know Boone as the main street, Scooter's Coffee, the 4-way stop, and the Saint Cafe, and that's it. Because I don't see anymore.
You don't go anywhere.
Just go straight under bed.
Yeah.
And then eat, sleep, race, repeat.
When I first started staying at the racetrack, I used to stay in a hotel, and I used to like to get away thinking that was the only way to do it. But when I go to Boone now for the races, I don't leave the track. I don't leave the grounds, and I think it's just awesome to spend an entire
I
day.
have to get away for a little bit. I
just
need to reset.
I like the camper to get away from people and to have my own downtime without being incredibly far away. But
I'm one of those, if there's noise going on, I
Well,
want to know what it is.
Well, normally you're the noise. So,
Well, Jim, where do you stay? Where do you stay?
I'm at the hotel across the street.
Okay.
I'm too much of a wuss.
We stayed in a haunted house last year.
You thought it was haunted.
They told me it was.
They told me.
That wasn't a ghost in your sheet?
No.
It was a mini poltergeist.
emphasis on the mini.
Wow.
Google Fiat Cactus, by the way. It's a real car.
It is a real car, and I don't want to ride one. Thank you.
And you know what? A lot of people think that the race season ends with the Super Nationals, but that's obviously not the case. Coming up this week,
we're still doing points races.
We still got points going on. We've got some specials going on, and we'll race clear into the end of October.
Well, it's a little like my favorite word, climax, right? You assume that that's the climax of the season,
but it's not.
No.
Yeah. It's not like the Super Bowl.
Have you tried the pork seasoning thing we got yet?
I haven't. It's in my backpack. Yeah.
Dave Fingal, was it Dave Fingal?
Instead.
Was it Finstead? The 7D.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to try it. It's in the car. We could sprinkle it on something. I got to say, hey, my friend wants to give you something. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, our friend wants to give you something.
Going back to the races that are still going on, though, I've always said that this time of year, it is more difficult sometimes to find a race to go to than it is during the course of the season. I mean, you know where you're going to go on Friday night. You know where you're going to go on Saturday night. But this time of year, there are so many cool special events that go on that it's even sometimes harder to pick where you want to go racing. I mean, we got a bunch of them coming up just this weekend, Jim.
This week, once again, hats off to Wayne Becker up at Park Jefferson for, realizing we had the Tiny Lund going on not too far away from Park Jefferson. So he moved his show from Saturday to Thursday, and that should free up guys to be able to go to the Tiny Lund at Harlan, which is also this weekend. Then you got the Mid-America Clash down in Salina. Then you got the Stampede up at Jamestown, just to name a few specials that are going on this week.
There's a lot of growling going on underneath the table. I just want to clarify, it's Jerry's dogs. There's a pupper brawl going on, Jim, underneath the table. It sounds like Ryan's jean shorts, but it's really not. Do you know what I also did the other morning after I saw you?
What?
I did some family pictures with the Marlbergs.
Yeah, you did.
With Shannon and Kelsey Marlberg.
Yes.
It was really nice. They got 3 beautiful kids, and because she's the one that showed up with that T-shirt.
I'm here for Wade and maybe to cheer on my husband.
And then he didn't make the show. It was a bit awkward then when that happened. So, Jim, I love the culture and I love the community, and you got the webs on before. That was really cool because to me, the racing's phenomenal, but the people are better. You know,
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
You know, Sarah that sit next to you guys that does the hand scoring, and Dave Brooklander and that sort of those people and those pit people, the people in the back pit that run that form everybody up. Can you imagine that job? Oof.
Stand there all day,
herding cats. Like we call that the dummy grid in Australia, by the way.
Dummy grid.
That's called, Jim. You probably laugh at that, but that's actually the form. What do you call it? The
staging area.
Yeah, we call it the dummy grid because it's not really a grid; it's the dummy grid. So Craig Delansky came down to Australia and they started calling, "Can we have the B main cars to the dummy grid?" And he said he actually questioned what he did for a living. It's like, really? Is that what we? It's really going on underneath this table.
Yeah, they're fighting.
2 fighting dogs.
And speaking of great people, I ran into some, this past weekend up in Pennsylvania, Jake Maynard with his New York Penn Series. I mean, we talk about the class of IMCA racers, and I looked at that field Friday night in the modifieds, and you had David Stremme, Kenny Schrader. I mean, they're pretty established, successful racers.
Yeah.
Then you had the Sykes, and you had Rich Michaels, and a lot of guys who had has had a great deal of success, and that was a hell of a show. That was a hell of a feature. And then we had the sprint cars there, the Laurel Highland sprint cars. There was 29 of them at Clinton County, put on an unbelievable show. And then the next night, Rod Ort with his Pennsylvania Sprint Series had, I think, 36 of them at Selinsgrove. And once again, that was my first time to Selinsgrove. And you talk about a big, fast track.
Oh, that place is huge.
It's crazy. It's crazy, scary how fast it is. And, the 410s obviously put on a great show. But, the Race Savers, just phenomenal racing at that place. And, both Rod and Jake do a great job, and Ryan Helt with the Laurel Highland. I mean, what they sacrifice to give people opportunities to race is amazing. And once again, it just shows the love of racing that the people we deal with have.
Yeah, I was like, you talked about talent. World Nationals in Marshalltown last week. Ryan made the comment Friday night. He goes, "You've got 5 Super Nationals champions here
In the modified
in the
feature, and
mods.
two stock car Super Nationals
Yeah.
champions were in the modified. You need to do something with your dogs, Jerry.
And then
normally it's you that pisses me off, but your dogs are really getting on my nerves right now.
So how good though? Ricky Thornton Jr. wins the late model nationals, clean sweep, all 3 nights,
Right.
and the big dogs are there, and you were there for it. That's another great IMCA reference point, isn't it? Who won the world nationals, Jerry?
See, Tim Ward won one night, and Tom Berry won the other.
God, those dilly bars were so good the other night. I needed them so badly. I needed them so badly. I haven't made a paper plane in a long time. As you
I've
can
never
tell.
seen one made
Obviously.
like that.
Obviously.
So
Jim.
we are at an hour, folks. So
Oh my God.
People left at the 15-minute mark, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be worried.
We're just with
No,
ourselves right
when
now.
Victor was here, when Victor was here.
Once John and Nikki left,
everybody
went with them.
We couldn't top that story anyway.
No.
John looked like he had a huge night when he kind of just walked in like, "Hey, thank you." I was like, "Wow, he had a big night."
Yeah. Then they got frisky.
Yeah, bit of right side romance.
Yeah.
Boy,
I suppose we might just wrap it up. There's a lot of racing coming
we've
up.
got
We're going to Batesville for 10 grand win stock cars. Jim, you
that's
coming
right.
with us?
That's coming up. We got the Hope for 71 coming up at
Yep,
Batesville
in October.
National Points End this weekend. So
Yes.
this Sunday, people always say, we always say it's the last full weekend in September. And
Full
some
means
people,
Sunday.
Yeah, which essentially means the last Sunday in
Sunday.
September is the end of the point season. So our point season ends this Sunday, the 24th, I believe it is. So some close points
keeping you
battles
awake,
out there
Jerry?
at the track, regional and national level. So
Boy, the wind is really picking up out there, Jim. Are you okay? That palm tree's copping a flogging.
Oh, I know it. I know it. Well, the tide starts rolling in about this time every day, and
what time is it out there in Maui, Jim?
That's why it's convenient
Maui
to do
Jim.
this while the
Maui
tide's
Jim.
like this,
Maui
and
Jim. Gotta go to those.
after the podcast, I'll go out and surf for a little bit, then come back to the office.
Can you hear in the background?
Can you hear the dogs?
The puppies are literally just going at
My
it.
God.
The worst part is he
It's like
drives.
having 4 Jerrys.
The worst part is they drive. Jerry drives here with all 3 sitting on his lap.
No, they were all sprawled.
When I ride with him,
I know.
they do that, but I said I'm driving myself.
Did you
today.
get a message from Victor on your phone?
I had a message from Nigel,
Oh, Nigel.
and I've still got it on
Oh,
my
yeah,
on my
Nigel
work
called you
phone,
that day on your
and I've still got it on my
voicemail.
work voicemail, and I'm never deleting it.
Wow.
Never. But, okay.
What do we got coming up on IMCA TV? Nate, do you have anything for us?
Is there any- what show? Can you put the schedule up?
Salina and Batesville are coming up.
So we're going to be at Salina this weekend. Next weekend, we're headed to Batesville for 10 grand to win
Are you
stock
going down
cars.
to that?
Yep. Like me, Garrett, and Ian are headed that way.
I
Playing
think,
the game.
I think
Or
we're.
Garrett and Ian.
I think the Tiny Lund's on, isn't it?
Tiny
Tiny
Lund
Lund,
is
it's on.
Yep, Tiny Lund this weekend.
Park Jefferson
is-
Thursday
Park
night.
Jefferson on Thursday.
There's a lot of racing.
Go to IMCA TV to check out the
Yes,
the
IMCA
schedule.
TV.
That's
Once again, I
always
don't think
in there.
anybody else could hear producer Nate, but he mentioned the show coming up at Casa Grande. They had a big show Saturday night down there too, and Harlan, Salina, Park Jefferson, Thursday, Friday, this whole weekend.
So much going on.
Plenty
there.
of great IMCA racing.
Still some
Like sitting in the big chair.
some tracks still running for track points, but yeah, we'll have races throughout October.
There's IMC racing all year.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
well,
I-
in some places
I
in
really
November.
Think, I really think December is about the only time that there's not much going on.
not a lot, yeah, but you might be able to catch one here and there.
Trying an icebreaker.
Yeah, hand them out. They're Brett's. You're in his chair. You can do whatever you want over there.
$20,000 to win this weekend.
Where?
I don't know.
You're just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Feeling the power, are you?
Yeah, I was drunk with the power. Oh, these look like little I had an absolute blast with you guys. I love working with you two. Absolutely my favorite comedy duo of all time, and that includes Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. So
Whitey.
Did you work with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis?
yes,
Oh, did you?
each September. It's Father's Day when I'm at your event too. Did you know that?
It is
your
Father's Day when
Father's
you
Day,
were there.
that's right.
Yeah, that bit sucks. That bit really sucks. I got to work out a way to bring my boys so they can see the lunacy. I'd like Liam to race in it. I'd like to hire him at least a hobby stock or something and let him race Super Nationals.
Who was a sport mod driver from Australia? Frank Packer. What
Frank
Yeah,
Packer. He was
yeah.
from Hervey's Bay. Or Harvey's
Harvey
Bay.
Any relation to Todd Packer?
Or Mudpacker. His brother Wheel. I don't think so. There's Jerry.
Yeah.
They
There's
don't-
Paul Berger.
I've watched The Office.
Yeah. Wheel Packer.
What's Jerry saying on that screen?
Saying a lot of stuff.
Hi, I'm Paul Berger.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's end
Let's
this.
do it.
Let's end.
Hey,
We got work to do.
tuned in for number 13, number 14. Next time we come together, maybe you missed Super Nationals. Maybe you didn't go. Maybe you didn't buy it. It's simple. $24.99.
If you did, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you didn't,
If we're talking about Jerry, we need another hour or two of this.
What do you get for the $24.99? You get the whole week.
you get the replay pass. You can go back for 30 days and watch any
Anything.
IMCA TV archived event. Super
And
Nationals.
you know the
this year,
the
last
greatest
year, the
thing
year
about
before.
doing that?
What is the greatest thing? You can. Oh,
You
I know.
can turn the volume down,
I knew that
not
was
have to
coming.
listen to Jerry, and just watch it.
Actually, Jim, the greatest thing of it is when you purchase that replay pass, proceeds that are raised on the proceeds go back to IMCA racers that raced those events.
Oh, that's nice.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Very true.
Whether it's muted or not,
They're still getting their
they're
money.
still getting their money.
right.
So
The racers still get their money.
There's a
with
lot,
Yes.
a lot of people at Super Nationals are muted, in my opinion.
So
Does that mean the same thing, by the way?
muted?
Muted, yes.
That means like the sound off.
Pissed, drunk. No, I mean
Oh, no.
muted.
No, no.
If you're muted, it means you're drunk.
No, that doesn't
something-
mean
that's something
mute
else.
There's another one.
means-
Piss drunk means
That's called
piss drunk.
shit-faced.
Shit-faced,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Enjoy. Hope you had a good time. Get out to IMCA TV, get the replay pass, or join us live. Any event coming up.